was like, oh, well, I'm still being productive because it wasn't a thing that just made. Hi, this is Dr. Darwin, the new dentist coach, with an exclusive coaching call. It's a follow-up coaching call that had back in April with fourth-year dental student who's here tonight to share some good news. So, Student Dr. Minh, what's going on? What's been happening since the last time I talked to you, or we talked to one another?
A lot's happened since April. I visited, got the whole application process together. That takes a while. Started that early. I submitted it really early.
Okay.
Visited a couple more programs just to network and stuff. And you spend after that, once you submit it, you just wait around and pray for interviews, and got a couple invites and went to all of them. Had a good time at all of them, and it was nice to just kind of see what every program has to offer, and then put your match list together of your preferences, and then it's another waiting game after that, and then just have to be patient at in Morgantown.
So you matched where?
Great. Yeah, I'm very excited to start in July. West Virginia University.
West Virginia University for ortho, correct?
That's right. Yeah, for orthodontics.
Wow. Congratulations, man. That's good news. Good news.
Very, very exciting.
Oh, man.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. So,
yeah. It was a scary experience.
So you mentioned that that was your first choice. So how many programs did you apply to, and how many interviews did you get?
I had about 14 programs I applied. One place wasn't accepting applications.
Okay.
This cycle, I think they stagger their application openings and stuff, and then had just 3 interviews. But all 3 of them, I was very, very happy. Like, I was like, you could have flipped a coin, drawn a name out of a hat. I would have been very happy at any one of them. So they were all on my list. And then it just so happened I get to my top spot that I just felt, good opportunity to learn and grow and experience new things a little bit. So it was great. Yeah.
So I know when we talked in April, when you were anticipating this process coming for you for this upcoming year and this summer and getting your application together, I know there was a couple of things that we talked about. What strategies and tips that we talked about do you think really helped you match into the program that you got into?
If we just start back from the beginning, I would say explore programs that you would want to go to. There's no point in applying if a program is in the middle of nowhere, that's super far away from home, that you would never move to. There's no point in applying. So apply to places that you want to go to.
Right.
Apply to places that you feel you could get into. Do they have a history of accepting alumni from your DDS program, which is always a big help. Connections, and do they have a reputation of taking people from there? I'd have to say, if you're willing to also, because ortho is ortho, it's extremely, extremely competitive, and most people are just happy to get into any program. If you're willing to go to a 3-year program, which does have its benefits, and if you're willing to open up your pocketbook a little bit and find there are plenty of affordable programs that are 3 years, it definitely opens up your doors rather than restricting it to maybe the handful of programs around the country that give you a pretty nice stipend and there is no tuition.
Okay. Okay. So would you say that?
But at the end of the
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
at the end of the day, you'll still be an orthodontist, and your career is going to be what you make of it, regardless of where you go and whether or not you had to pay. The goal is to get into a program and then want to keep your options open because you never know what you may find. So even though you have one ideal place when you apply, you may end up falling in love with another place and be like, hey, this actually was the better route for me.
Right.
So,
right. That's good. So it sounds like some of the tips and strategies that we talked about, you kind of implemented and helped you form your list, helped you recognize what places you would go to, which ones you wouldn't go to, and then also being able to keep your options open, regardless of if it was a program that you received a stipend versus one that you have to pay tuition for. So that's good.
Right.
Implementing all those types of actions were successful in the sense that it got you those 3 interviews, which is, close to a little less than 19%, but 20%, but that's good. 20% of the places you apply to, you get an interview. That's great, man. So what were the,
thank you very much.
What were the 3 programs you got interviews at?
West Virginia University, of course, University of Pittsburgh, and my own home at Howard University.
Nice.
Yeah. All great programs. Great programs.
So you told me a little bit about the tips and which strategies you thought were helpful. Knowing what you know now, if you had to do it all over again or do some things over again, what would it be? What would you do? Now, keeping in mind, your number one choice is the place where you matched. So that's good. But I'm just saying, just in retrospect, if you know what you know now, what you experienced over these last 3 weeks and getting your match list together and over the last, 7 months and getting prepared for this process, what would you have done differently?
I don't know if I would have done anything differently because one factor that applicants should keep, a lot of my colleagues and classmates, they'll ask me, how does match work? Should I rank it based on preference or do I rank it based on where I go to? And I explained them the whole system of the algorithm. It's not very hard if you take your time to research it. Rank on preference, and the system does work itself out. In ortho, some programs require you to apply to match only. You do have to sign a document stating that you will apply to match only programs because those programs believe that is the fairest process.
Right.
And I agree with them. And my favorite programs of the 13 places I applied to, over half of them require me to sign a document stating that I'm applying to match only, and I had no problem. So my original list went from 20 programs down to 13 because 7 of them were non-match programs. And I was saying, I would wait anyways for match, so I'm not going to put that burden on myself.
Right.
To where if I'm offered a non-match spot prior to match date, I'll take my chances on match. I felt confident enough in my application. I'll just take my chances and I'll deal with post-match after the fact.
Right.
So that's probably a big factor. Depends on who is applying.
Okay.
So you can't kind of take 1 or 2 routes, just know it.
Okay.
But otherwise, I would probably do exactly the same.
Exactly the same. Okay.
Maybe a better GRE score would be nice. A higher GRE score would have been better. I'm not gonna lie. I think that also opens up more doors, even though GRE doesn't have direct correlation with ortho particularly, but programs do evaluate your GRE scores, and some
Yeah.
programs stress it more than others. So
Now,
maybe that's one aspect
I
I
think
could have done better on.
I think lots of times one of the reasons why GRE was thrown in there, and I could be wrong, but maybe
Board scores.
yeah, board scores, but for some reason I've always kind of remembered, and this is over the last 10, 15, 20 years, that GRE was always or mostly recommended for most ortho programs. I could be wrong, but now today, and within the last 3 years, you've got the ADAT, which is a new test to help kind of equilibrate everybody, especially those candidates that come from schools that don't have, or that are basically pass-fail, don't rank, or don't have a GPA associated with their students. It's just pass-fail. So it'd be interesting to see over the next several years the change from the GRE being weighted heavily to more now that ADAT for ortho candidates. It'd be interesting to see how those programs handle.
That's another factor, actually. That's actually another factor. Now that you remind me of it, I never took the ADAT, so some programs required the ADAT. But because the test is still extremely new, there's no baseline established. So some programs, even though they require the ADAT, they aren't necessarily having that high priority in your score to rank you or to even consider you for interview. So retrospectively, I probably would have just studied for a couple weeks, took my chance on the ADAT and send it, and I would have been eligible for more programs, and that could have opened up more doors. So I do advise people now, just go ahead and take it and don't stress out about a score or anything. It's just my recommendation. Just take it and then put your application in so you'll be eligible for those places, because you never know, those places won't even consider the ADAT a high priority.
Right. Getting back to the tips and strategies, one of the things I always recommend for candidates that are applying to specialty programs is to make sure that summer or that spring before they apply, that they go to that big annual meeting where there's an opportunity to meet different programs from across the country, meet the program directors and other key people that are involved in that admissions process, especially the residents and the alumni. They usually have this big alumni reception at for you, AAO, or at the other specialty meetings. Did you get a chance to do any of that this spring or late summer?
I would have, but I had finals, I think, the week after. So last year it was in AAO conference was in San Diego. But so if I didn't match this time around, it's right here in Washington, D.C. And then that's like an ideal time to really get your CV together and just go up to every program director and just say, hey, I'm applying to your program. My name is Min. Please look out for my application. Just have a few questions and just find some sort of question just to stimulate some conversation, of generate some interest in the program. Is highly advised for sure.
Absolutely. That's great advice. You got to go to those meetings. Got to go. If you're a serious candidate and you want to be taken seriously, you got to go to the meeting. And if you're not going, that means typically that you're not interested, really. And it's not mandatory, but it's mandatory to the point where no one else is really going to go. So that's even more reason why you should go and you must go, so that you can get out of what we talked about all the time, get out of obscurity, so that you get that face-to-face, that eye-to-eye contact and introduction, and you start networking with the program directors and others that are on the admissions committee. So, that's great advice. What else, in closing here, what other advice would you give other new dentists that right now that are applying into ortho? Knowing what you know now, what you've experienced this last year or so, what advice would you give new dentists that are applying into ortho so that they ensure that they increase their chances of getting in?
I guess in closing, grades will just get you to a certain point. But when you visit these programs, really take a hard look and ask yourself, do I have similar personalities as the faculty here and the co-residents? Because it's going to be a marriage between new applicants and candidates and the current program, because you're going to be a part of their alum.
Right.
And faculty are going to want to evaluate, is this someone I'm willing to teach for the next 2 to 3 years? So if you find a program where you really, really have similar personalities, it's a big, big help.
Okay.
Because the chances are you'll probably be ranked higher on their list, because in my personal opinion, if I'm a chairman or program director, a 4.0 is probably not that much significantly better than a 3.9 GPA person, or someone who's ranked 1 or 2 or 3. But I'll probably rank the highest person that fits in best with the program.
Okay.
And if you put your efforts towards those programs that you think you could fit in, the chances of you getting in are in my opinion, just go a lot higher.
Good.
So that's beyond getting high GPA.
Absolutely.
And high test scores. So that's probably the best come match day. And they're going to be stuck with you.
That's right. And you're going to be stuck with them. Yeah.
I'll be happy to be stuck at West Virginia, though. Yeah, it would be a great time.
That was your number one. When the number one and number one on the same page, hey, and they match, there it is.
It's easy on the computer.
That's right. Well, hey, man, again, I congratulate you. So proud of you. So proud to hear that all your hard work and your dedication and your drive and determination has gotten you delivered to the match program, or the program of your dreams. So is it 2-year program or is it 3?
It's a 3-year program.
Okay.
Yeah. So a lot of people tend to steer away from 3 years and I have a good time at and learn as much as I can.
Okay, so 3-year program, yeah. Well, you are going to learn, man. That's going to be your job, your duty, your responsibility, your obligation for these next 3 years after graduation, to get through your ortho program. Keep plugging there down at Howard. Get through that endo, man. Tell Dr. Smith to let you get through. No, not let you get through, but work with him so you get through, so you can be there.
I got one more.
Got one more case?
I got one more canal. I just got to find a canal, and then I'm done with that department.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Get that
One more
canal
canal
done.
I'll be all right.
Use your loops, borrow somebody else's loops. I mean, as long as you got loops on top of loops on top of loops, find that canal and get out of there, man.
I'll find something. Yeah, that's right.
That's good. Well, hey, man, thanks so much again.
It was good to hear from you, Dr. Hayes.
You too, man.
Sure.
Good to hear from you. I'm glad everything worked out, and we'll stay in contact. Coming back down to Howard soon.
Absolutely.
Graduation, but hey, it may even be a good idea. Maybe we can get you to journey and chronicle your 3 years as an ortho resident. That'll be kind of interesting.
Yeah, I was thinking about documenting the whole dental school aspect, but then I think with the advent of these new phones with these really, really good cameras that are like DSLRs, I think it'll be kind of a fun way to kind of document some things that I experience with residency.
Yeah, man.
And that take on it. So
absolutely.
So keep updated. We'll be in touch for sure. Yeah. Okay,
that sounds good. Well, hey, good luck to you. Have a happy holidays. Ace those finals and get that endo done, and we'll catch up in the next couple of months. Okay.
Sounds good. Thanks, Dr. Hayes.
You're welcome. Congrats. See you later. Talk to you later.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Well, there you go. There you go. Another successful outcome. Man, your boy Dr. Darwin is like, I'm not 2 for 2. I'm in 2 for 2 for ortho. I've had a couple other mentees through pedo and a couple other ones that have gotten in. So, hey, this is what we do. This is how we get it done. All right. You ask the questions. You tell me about what you're fearful of, what you're worried about, what makes you frustrated through trying to get through this process of your applying to residency program. And we lay it out. We lay out some tips. Some are easy, some are a little bit more challenging, but it's the easy ones that you want to really, really focus on because it's easy to do, but it's also easy not to do. As you can see, Student Dr. Minh did not back away from the challenge. It's been 7 months since the last time we've been really talking about. We actually laid out a plan, a plan of action, a battle plan, I call it, and some strategies, and he just knocked it out the park. So he's going to be going and starting ortho residency pretty soon. You can too. Share with me your concerns, your fears, your worries, your frustrations about getting into dental school, about getting into a residency program, and even the specialty programs, or even life after dental school. If you have questions about what I'm going to do, what should I do, how do I do it, send those questions to me. NewDentistCoach at NewDentistCoach@gmail.com. Again, NewDentistCoach@gmail.com. NewDentistCoach@gmail.com. Hey, thanks so much for listening. I hope this information, this follow-up coaching call has been very helpful. You got some advice. You got some takeaway tips. You heard what to do, what was successful. All right. Now you got that information. Now you just got to implement it, and now you got to go execute. All right. If you like what you heard, just leave me a comment down at the bottom, somewhere down in here. Leave a comment there. Feel free to share it with classmates or other people that you know that are applying to ortho, or even other specialty programs too. All right. Take care, and I will see you next time. This is your new dentist coach, Dr. Darwin, signing off. I'll see you on the next tip, on the next takeaway. All right. Take care. Have a good night.